Hello, you guys, and thank y'all for tuning in to Talk About It Thursdays here on the Journey Podcast, where I am your host, Kiera. So excited about spending more time with you guys. Um, I'm I'm so grateful for the feedback that I got. I had like 4 or 5 people reach out with topics, which I am gonna get to everybody's topic. I did have to narrow it down to the two that I was most prepared to talk about. Um, and have a friend select which one which one, because everything was so good, y'all. I'm so grateful for you guys. This community has definitely been a great source of a feel good. And so like I said, I'm grateful for you all. If you would like to suggest a topic, feel free to reach out via the hotline. That's just the easiest for me to keep up with. The hotline's number is 770-802-1200. You don't have to disclose your name or anything. Just put talk about a Thursday topic and whatever the topic is. And I am definitely going to get to everybody's topic for Thursday. Um, as time goes by. So just keep those suggestions coming. And just, I would rather have a bunch of options than no options. So with this new segment being added, it is a little bit more, but I'm grateful. Uh, and so, in other announcements, guys, the website has definitely been updated where you can access the links to the different platforms via the website. So thejourneypodcast.life is the website. You'll see the link to Castbox, Apple Podcasts, um, Amazon Music, Castbox, iHeartRadio, and I think that's it. Oh, and YouTube as well. You'll see the links that leads you directly to the channel for the Journey Podcast, so that you can add us to your favorites. Let me know what you're listening on. If there is a platform that you currently listen to podcasts on, where that I did not list, that's not available on the website, please reach out and let me know via the hotline as well. That way I can get us on that platform, and you can listen on Thursdays and Sundays. So I think, other than that, if you're new here and you don't know, the Journey Podcast does air on Sundays at 6 p.m. for our regularly scheduled episodes. So 6 p.m. on Sundays, that's available for you, and that's on all platforms as well. Other than that, let's just go ahead and jump into today's episode. Good morning to those that are starting their shift, those that are on their way, drive safe. Those that are preparing their kids for school, congratulations to getting them kids out the house and back and busy. I pray that this year is a prosperous one for each and every one of us. Students, parents, teachers, of course, definitely the teachers. Um, yeah. Let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. So, today we're talking about excuses. What is an excuse? An excuse is an explanation put forward to defend or justify an offense or action. Um, and so I think excuses just kind of like try to lessen the blame, where it's like, oh well, it's not my fault. and and I feel like what excuses do for us, it keeps us unaccountable. Um, they keep us stagnant. They keep us as an unhealthy version of ourselves. Um, and they keep us from our highest potential. So I myself used to be um somebody that would make excuses. So excuses for why I didn't do something, or why I did do something. Oh, I only did that. I only did that because of XYZ, or because you did that, or because And so I used to be a terrible like, no, not a terrible person, but a terrible excuse maker. And so I would make an excuse, and it just was out of out of the fact that I was used to making excuses. And so I didn't want to look like, oh, I'm a bad person. So let me make this excuse so make it look like it really ain't my fault, even though it is my fault. And so what I had to do is take accountability for my actions, sometimes my words. Um, and yeah, I had to do that. And so today, well, at like, I wouldn't say I was an adult. I wasn't an adult when I used to make excuses, but here I am. I'm seeing that these excuses are not making any situation better for me. And so excuses don't excuse you. They disable you from just reaching your highest potential. So while I could make excuses, I don't. I and so when because I know like okay, what is making this excuse going to do for me for this or for this situation? Is it going to make it better? No, it's not. So I had to make an excuse for an action that was just like that I had control over. And so um when we make excuses and we start to blame others for why for things like why we're not where we're supposed to be or why something that should have been done isn't done, um and so forth and so on. When we make those excuses, who does it really affect? And that's a legit question. When we're not where we're supposed to be, is it somebody else's fault that we're not there? So like we know, and it kind of piggybacks off of Sunday's episode. Supreme, for instance, could have made an excuse for why um he was unsuccessful in life. Um, Instead, he knew that he wanted to be successful, and regardless of the odds that were against him, he did what he needed to do. He could have made an excuse. Excuses cost you $0. They cost you absolutely nothing but your highest potential. Healthy decision making, you being where you want to be. And so while we can blame everybody else for why we're not, um, have we really released that much power over ourselves to other things and other people? Where somebody has the power to keep me from being who I want to be. And so it's at some point you have to want it bad enough that you say, you know what, I'm taking power over myself, I'm taking control over myself, and I'm going to put myself in a position to win. I'm going to put myself in a position to have the things that I want to have. I can make an excuse all day. I can make an excuse, but it's not going to it's unhealthy. It's going to keep me from being the healthiest version of myself. It's going to keep me from having the things that I want to have. It's going to keep me from having the things that I need to have in order to be a good friend, a good a good partner, a good employee, a good parent. Um Making excuses keep you from doing all those things. So do you truly want to not be able to show up fully um because you made an excuse? No. Do you want to not have money because you made an excuse? No. Because guess what? Although you made that excuse, guess what? You still don't have any money. Although you have made that excuse, you still don't have the things that it's so many, like you don't have the job, you don't have the car, you don't have the place to stay. Um these things are obtainable, and yes, it might be hard for you to obtain them, but because you know the odds that are against you, prepare. So the time that you're taking, formulating the excuse or focusing on the things that put that now have played a part in the position, whether you lost your job, um, whether you've been struggling with depression or whatever the case may be. Um, um, Instead of focusing on that, focus on what it is that you want for yourself. Focus it on what it is that you need for yourself and say, okay, how can I get this? If you focus on the plan and not the problem, that is that's where you're going to see yourself succeeding. So write that down. Focus on the plan, not the problem. I'm telling you, that'll keep you from making excuses. That'll keep you accountable. And I myself have to, I like to write things down. So I like to write down what my plans are and what it is that I want to do. Um, and then I kind of formulate a plan. Instead of sitting here formulating an excuse, formulate a plan and stick to the plan. I don't care if it's losing weight, guys. Here you are, you know what it is that you want to do. Maybe you have a big trip coming up, you set a deadline for yourself. You come up with a plan and stick to the plan. You know what it is that you need. You know that you're not working on the job that you were working on before. You need another job. That's first. You know that you need that. What's the plan? Okay, I need to start doing job applications. I need to start seeing if there's any low side hustles that I can do, and I need to apply myself. Stop making excuses and start making plans. Those excuses are going to keep you unaccountable. They're going to keep you from your highest potential. And if nobody else in the world wants that for you, you should want that for you. Um, you should not find peace in um, laying down and giving others, other things, and other people that much power over your destiny. Um, and so, accountability, like I was talking about last week, plays a big part in and helping to stop making excuses. I get it. Sometimes you make excuses out of habit. It's just like, okay, I'm used to making excuses, and that's okay. That's okay to a certain extent. It's like, okay, you have to grow from those things. So whether it's from childhood or when you became an adult and you just started making excuses, um or you just started looking at what other people were doing, and you know what, they don't have that, I don't need to have that either. You can you can it's your choice, if you would like to reach your highest potential. The excuses gotta go. They gotta go. Like, it's just like, if you really genuinely truly want better for yourself, you want to put yourself in a better position, you got to stop making excuses. You got to stop blaming others for why you're not where you want to be. Like I said, when you know certain odds are against you, it might not come easy and the fight might be a little bit harder, but it's worth it. You know, you can now get a place where, and you're comfortable in your own space, or you can now, um, you can afford that car because you went and got on, like you got on another job, or you saw whatever it was that you needed to do. There is no excuse. It's no excuse, guys. It's no excuse. Instead of making excuses, make a way, make like so that you can be suffering from depression. That is truly a thing. Sometimes I think for me that was a thing where I was depressed at one point, and I would be like, well, I just can't because I just got a lot going on. Everybody has a lot going on. Everybody has a lot. That doesn't mean that um that doesn't mean that you should stop showing up for yourself. Um Keep showing up for yourself. A lot of the things that happen to us that are out of our control put us in a place where we can suffer from depression. But um it's up to you to keep fighting, you know? It's hard sometimes. I know. Sometimes it's so hard that you just like, you know what? I give up. I give up. I don't even have it in me to try anymore. And that, I mean, I get it. I understand. Um, but um your loved ones your loved ones are counting on you to keep fighting, keep being the keep trying to be the best version of yourself. um and so with that, I want to this episode is actually not going to be that long. But with that, the homework for you is, when was a time where you might have made excuses when you know deep down inside that you could have done better, or you could have done more, or you really didn't put forth your best efforts into applying yourself. Um, like I said, I would use things like, oh well, I didn't know, I didn't know, no, knew good and well, or or using my separation as an excuse. Well, you know what? I don't have any physical help, so I just, I couldn't show up. I would use that as an excuse. I never really truly like use my children as an excuse, although I do have a bunch of kids. and, and that could be every reason for why. That's gonna be my excuse for why y'all don't get nothing for Christmas, because I got all these I got all these kids, y'all. Y'all can't get nothing for Christmas. That's the excuses are. So instead of making that excuse, I know that I got all these kids, right? I knew that I've had all these kids. I have had 7 kids since 2021. Here it is, 2025. There's no way I'm still using them for it as an excuse because I knew that Christmas was coming up anyway. So, and I knew that there was, a select few people that I wanted to get a gift. Now I need to plan. Hold on now. We're getting, oh, hold on now. Now I need to plan because I know my situation. I know what's going on. And this is just an example, guys. I know what's going on. I know what I need to do, I know what I want to do. I know that I want to get something nice for for a select few people. And so because I know that, I also know that I have all these kids. I have to plan accordingly. And that's just the bottom line. Like, at some point we have to stop making excuses. Is like, for what? For what? You know? Um I hope that I hope that this episode was good for you guys. I hope that um I hope that you find you find the desire to want whatever it is that you want for yourself bad enough to stop making excuses. Start um planning instead of making excuses. So, I hope that you guys have an amazing day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you Sunday. Love y'all.